When I think of nostalgia, I personally think of old times. For example, I could be playing a video game.
To me is something that takes me back to a memory that I lived in.
Nostalgia to me is a moment of understanding something from the past and experiencing it in the future. So, or in the present, I should say. Things like a cookout or a blanket or a song you might hear that reminds you of your childhood or something from the past is nostalgic.
Nostalgia to me means having an old feeling of the past and thinking about it in the present.
Okay. Nostalgia to me is like kind of a mixture of sadness, but also like joy and reminiscing on your childhood. So
Example of nostalgia for me is when I park my car, right, go into my house, and while I walk down the street and I see the lights come on, it takes me back to where I was playing manhunt and me hiding under the car. So yeah, that's a memory that I lived in.
So things that make me nostalgic would probably be mostly music. Like whenever I hear songs from my childhood, whether it's like from like mostly from like the 2010s-ish like era, and just reminding me like of where I was listening to the songs. Like usually it's usually like Black Eyed Peas, and I listen to that, or like the old hip hop songs, and then I remember like either running around on a block party or field day or something like that. And just like remembering how good it was and how easy life used to be. But that can be sad, but also pretty joyful of like, okay, at least I had those good memories with either music or watching a show or maybe a movie or something like that. But that's mainly what I think of when I think of nostalgia. Just like a bittersweet memory.
When I think of nostalgia, I personally think of old times. And for example, I could be playing a video game, and even though I don't really love the video game for what it is, I love the memories that I made with the game. For example, it could be a video game called Sonic All-Stars Racing, where I would play that with family members, my cousins, sisters, even my dad. And even though I can't have those moments like that now, the memories that I made back then, it definitely warmed my heart, and it makes me still have a deep loving and yearning for that game. I feel like nostalgia, everybody deserves to have it, because it's like, I personally believe that it is the most important parts of life, because it's proof that you've made memories doing what you love to do. And I feel like everybody should be able to experience it.
When I think about what's nostalgic to me, I think of clothes, moments, like especially when I hear certain songs. When we think about being black as in a culture of being black, when we hear Frankie Beverly and Maze, for instance, at a cookout, that's nostalgic. Because it might bring you back to a time when you was a kid and you heard that same song, whether you was 5, whether you was 7, and you might be 20, 30 years old now, and that brings you back to that moment.
To me, something that is nostalgic would mean old clothing, old music, or old memories from the past.
Nostalgic refers to a sentimental longing or affection for the past, often for a time or place with personal significance. It can evoke feelings of warmth, sadness, or bittersweet memories about moments or experiences long gone. What's nostalgic to me is when I'm on a game and I check my old clips out and I'm playing Fortnite or whatever when I was like 12, and I just hear my voice when I was young, playing with my friends and stuff, and it brings me back of how I used to feel, staying home all day, being on the game with my friends, and that's just nostalgia for me. And shout out to Nostalgic Studios.